Alright everybody, Shane Madare Jr. here in my home studio of destruction. The guitar you just heard on all the tracks on that demo was the Epiphone 2020 inspired by Gibson Les Paul Studio in TVLO. You'd say it's such a simple color, but it's simply awesome. I love it, and let's get into what's going on with this guitar. The price point of this guitar, brand new, is $399 and I think 99 cents. I was lucky because I got a demo for even less than that. So I think one thing people think whenever they see the name Epiphone, maybe, I don't feel this way, but if they see the name Epiphone and they see such a low price, one thing you might think is, what am I getting myself into with paying that low of a price on a guitar? Well, this guitar, I will compare it to my Gibsons. I've got an R7 gold top Les Paul, a 61 reissue SG, and a custom shop 1963 50th anniversary ES335, which is my desert island guitar. And I do think that all of them feel, sound, and play and look like what they cost. I really do. That being said, this guitar, for the price that I paid for it, sounds and looks and feels and plays like, I would say, costs twice as much as what it truly does. It makes me think of perhaps one of the lower priced American Fender Strats or the lower priced USA Gibsons they have. I would really put it up there, no lie. The good old P90 pickups. They are their own thing. They don't quite sound like a humbucker, and they don't quite sound like a Strat or Tele single coil. They definitely have a boosted mid-range quality to them. You could liken it to a parked wah pedal. It can have kind of a honky sound, like really sound like it's right here, but it's so good. Again, it's its own thing. My R7 Les Paul with its humbuckers has its own big burning sound, but these are, it's like if you want that sound, you gotta get the P90s, and the ones on this, they give you that P90 sound. On the intonation on this guitar, because of the lightning bar compensated wraparound bridge, guitar is not a perfect instrument of tuning most of the time anyway, but it can't be what you might typically expect as perfect on a guitar just because of the technology of this bridge. And I'm not a super technology guitar guy as far as how a guitar is put together, but my local wizard tech friend told me that's one of the things. So as far as that, I notice in the higher registers, as you get up above the 12th fret and around it, you might hear a little bit of beating in the notes instead of it being a clean, non-square wave happening out of tune thing, but you know what you're getting into. That's what these things would have been like in the past. That's what it's like now. So for me, it doesn't bother me because this thing just sounds great and feels great. The tuners themselves, especially after it was set up by my local tech friend, because I get all my guitars sent to me when they are shipped to me, I get them all set up so he knows what I like. After he got a hold of it, the intonation when I bend strings and the tuners themselves, which feel really strong and good. I really mean that. Now that it's been set up, it really stays in tune well whenever I bend strings. The frets on this guitar are very comfortable. I don't notice any spots on it that stop my fingers or feel weird or anything. The only thing that I would say with this guitar as it came from the factory, and again, a lot of my tech friends say that this is just something you can expect to see when you do pay a really low price for a guitar, because they don't all get those final TLC finishing touches before it leaves the factory. It's a little bit of a taking a chance on it. Might end up the way you want right away, but might not. When I would bend notes, it would be a little scratchy feeling. You could feel the string get caught on the fret a little bit, and you could even hear a little bit of that sound, and you feel it when you're bending. So that was there, but again, I got it set up. So yeah, you pay a little money, but I know that going in. It's no surprise to me. And even if you pay $100 or more for a setup on a guitar like this, especially if you get a demo, you're still getting a lot of guitar for not a lot of money. And the frets feel super smooth now, so it's just not even a problem anymore. The weight of this, it's lighter than my R7 Gold Top Les Paul. That's a chunk of a guitar. But this still definitely has the Les Paul chunk. When I played it at a 3-hour gig recently, one of my first gigs to get at during the COVID, all that stuff. After playing it for a couple hours, I definitely started to feel a little bit of tension on the shoulder. But again, you get a Les Paul, you get the big sound, you know what you're getting into on that. So just power up and rise to the next level. The neck thickness. It is not as thick as my R7 Les Paul, or I have a Joe Bonamassa Epiphone Les Paul. Both of those have a thicker neck. This one is not thin by any means. I would say it feels somewhere between the late 50s, early 60s type Les Paul neck when they did get a little thinner. It is not as thin as an SG at all. I would say it's somewhere between the thickness of a 60s Les Paul and perhaps a 335. And I don't really get hung up on guitar neck thicknesses. I feel like I can get used to whatever that particular guitar has, but this one feels very comfortable. I got no complaints about it. In conclusion, from a guy who I've been very fortunate to have an arsenal with some really nice, really fun, quality guitars, you get a lot of guitar for the small amount of money that you pay for this thing. It's very impressive. Any remaining TLC touches that you might need that didn't come from the factory, again, you can get those easily taken care of by a qualified tech, and it'll be more personalized for you. I'm very glad I bought this. I love recording with it, and I would feel completely at home having this on a professional stage right next to my R7. I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate all of you following my music and such and sharing my videos, as it's really fun for me to get to share this with people, and I want to do it more and more. So you're helping me grow to where I'm doing what I can to get even more music content out to you. So please subscribe to my channel. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the little bell button to the side so you can get notified whenever I post new stuff just for you. And until next time, keep making loud noises with your high voltage rock. Shane Madare Jr. All right.